it's Jean Piersanti with Beauty and the Stamper. I wanted to make a DIY for you today, and let me show you. I'm using Dollar Tree products. I have one 8x10, and if you can see closely, it looks like it's pounded metal. And then I have 5 4x6s. I have one piece of poster board here, and those are all from the Dollar Tree. And then I also have this wall art. There you go. And they're leaves, and they are also in a copper color. I have a photo that I wanted to put my grandparents' picture in, and so this is actually just a piece of paper. So it's very flimsy. You could see that it's quite old, and so I have this, and I just want to make a special piece for it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. As you can see, I mean, the frame, it's a very old picture, and the mat's kind of all, you know, faded and whatnot. So I went ahead and I took a piece of some copper 12x12 that I had, and I cut it into an 8x10, and then using my Stampin' trimmer I did that, and then I cut out the piece here using the Stampin' trimmer as well. And so I've made a new mat for it in copper. And then I've also just taken some 8.5x11 vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to cut that down because the smaller pieces here are 4x6. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to cut it into 4 here. So I'm going to measure it at 4 inches, and then I'm going to measure this other one at 4 inches as well. And then I'm going to measure it at 6 inches. And then I'm going to measure this at 6 inches. And so now I have 4 of these, and I have 4 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and take these wall art pieces, and I'm going to put them on to this vanilla cardstock. And I just love it so much. And all I'm doing now is building the piece for the final pieces. And I know some of you guys have asked me to put a picture in the beginning, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think what I'm going to do is just use this as a background here, just in case it sticks. Then it's sticking on plastic. And I'm just going to center those, and if it falls over, you could easily just take some scissors and cut them, or just flip it around any part that overflows, and you'll have like just this little piece. But none of that really matters. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all the pieces. I'm going to take the plastics off of these, and then I'll be back and I'll get started on showing you the piece that I'm making. Alright, so I've got all of the plastic taken off, and all I'm going to do is you just pull back these little levers here. If they're too hard, get some scissors or a butter knife and stick it under, and that'll pull it off or pull it up. So I've got those, and now I'm going to take these off and this piece, and then all you're going to do is you're going to take your 4x6s that you have, and you can put other pictures in here if you'd like. I just want this to be one kind of copper looking piece, so I went ahead and just stuck that in there like this. Then you're going to take this back piece, and you're going to kind of take this off. And this is the part that's going to be a little bit tough because you don't want to break it. It comes off rather easily. There may be a little bit of holes there, but it's not a big deal. You could also take these other pieces off if you want to. Again, not a big deal. And then you're going to stick them back in. And so now we have these pictures. I'm going to do it to the other frames, and then I'll be back in just a moment. All right, hold on. I've got those all built. So I have these, and you could hang them up just like this. How cute would these be just hanging on a wall like that? I think it would be really cute. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I know, you can't tell me my hair looks bad, but still, somebody should let me know. Don't let me know, I'm only kidding. And look at how cute this turned out. So, I've got those, and then I forgot I have 5, and I only had 4 of those leaves. So what I did is I just went into some of my little happy planner stickers because I know they had some really pretty gold ones in there. And I went through a bunch of my books and I found this sticker that is in gold. And it says, be the very best version, excuse me, be the very best version of you. So I thought that was so just, my grandparents always did their best to be the best versions of themselves. So I had this, and I'm like, oh, well, that's not going to fit because you could still see through it. So I took some of the copper, and I'm just going to stick it at the top, and I'm going to stick it at the bottom, and then that will create a nice little piece that makes everything flow together. And I was so proud of myself for coming up with that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sticker here, and we're going to just take that off and do the same thing. I'm going to pop it right in the middle and line it up as best that I can. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this, stick it right there. Take this guy. I'm actually going to use just a little tiny piece of hot glue so that it doesn't go flying all over the place. Just a little bit. And stick that up there. And then the same thing on the bottom. And then put these guys in there. So now I've got all my pieces and I'm going to put them together. But what I needed, look at how cute that came out. See, again, this can just hang on the wall, you guys. So cute. So many different DIYs within this project, and I just thought it was so cool. So next thing, I have a couple of ideas that you beauties have taught me. I was going to put them all together using the popsicle sticks and whatnot, but then somebody said, why don't you just use the poster board? And so that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is take this poster board and I'm going to lay out what I need, and I know that I want to make this into a cross. So let me pull this back a little so you guys can see. And I'm going to put this one here because I want it to be right underneath my grandparents. And then I'm going to put this one here. And I think I'm going to put this one here. And this one here. And then this one is going to go at the bottom. So now I know exactly the shape that I need. I'm going to end up gluing these down, but first I want to cut these pieces off that I'm not going to be using. So you could use a pen and mark where you need to. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to line it up with this cut here. And I'm just going to outline where we go. And I think these are actually lined up really well in between here. So I'll hold those down and I'm just going to outline these. And then when I cut it, I'm going to cut inside the lines. And then I want to line these up as well. And I'm just kind of eyeballing them, but I'm still going off of these center lines here. And then I definitely want this one to match up perfectly. Ooh, my chair dropped. Okay, I'm gonna now take this all off. And you'll see that I now have that shape there. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and again I'm going to cut inside. So I'm not on the outside but on the inside, and it doesn't have to be exactly inside. It could be probably 1/4 of an inch on the inside. And if you folded it all to get through, make sure you fold the side that you're not going to use, or you can use a what are they called? Well, you could use a knife, but you could use a, sheesh, what are they called? Go ahead, tell me what they're called, guys. An X-Acto knife? You could use an X-Acto knife. Just like that. So, or a regular knife you could use. But you're just going to cut through all of these. So I'm going to cut this out now, and I will be back in just a moment. Okay, I've retrieved my chair. I brought the cardboard back, and you can see this side is a little longer than that side. You guys, it doesn't matter. All we're doing is using this as a base to hold the picture frames in place. So let's go ahead and put these guys together. So I definitely know I want this here. And I want it to be flush. So I'm going to take this here and I'm going to hot glue it. And I'm actually going to hot glue these pieces here just in case I need to take it off for some reason. Like I said, this is the only picture that I have like this, and it was a photocopy, as you can tell. So I'm going to flip that over and I'm going to place it on here, and I'm going to be straight. I need this to be nice and straight because this is the piece that holds everything else straight. Then this is the one that's going next. And I'm going to grab another glue stick. And we'll go through quite a bit of glue on this one. You could use E6000. It's not necessary on this part. And I'm going to go ahead again and glue this whole part. These are super cute. I love them just on their own. If you just wanted to use them as a piece there. And I'm going to put them in the middle like I wanted. And you know what? If it is not where you want it, you could either don't put it down, which I just did, but that's okay. I mean, you could really be careful about it. So just put it down there. And then I'm going to go back through. I have an X-Acto knife, so I'm going to cut this down because you could see a little bit of it. So we will go ahead, and I'm going to do that right now. Okay, before I do that, I am going to put these on to make sure there's no other parts that I need to cut. These aren't the right order that I want to put them in, but I just want to make sure that I need to cut where I need to cut. And this is it. This is the only piece that I cut a little bit too long. So I'm going to go ahead and I will be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cut that off, and so now you can't see that there anymore. And we're going to go ahead and continue on with these guys. Now this one I'm going to put right on here because it is only half, so I want it to be all the way on here. And I'm going to put quite a bit because it's only halfway on. I'm going to make sure those are quite flush and hold that down. So while that's drying, I'm just going to stick another glue stick in here. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Now, I am using the hot glue straight on here for these because these are easy enough to make. I wanted to be extra careful with my grandparents' picture, so that's why I was working with that one. But I want this one to go, again, centered right there. And these are sticking off as well, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go and do the same thing here. Like I said, I'm going through the glue sticks, and that's okay for me. If you want to be more precise and not go through your glue sticks like I am, feel free. So I'm going to move this over a little. I'm going to bring this over. Again, we want it to be flush. And then I'm going to have to cut that one too, because I made sure that it fit, but it's not straight, and I want it to be straight. So I'm going to cut that one and let these dry. All right, I've cut it down. This one I just used scissors, and I'm going to go ahead and glue these. Again, I like the hot glue. I want it to really stick on there. This is going to give it a good solid foundation. So I'm going to put that on here as well. So I want this to go straight up. And I'm looking just to make sure. Yep. And flush. And so now these are drying as well. The other ones are all dry. So I'm going to hold this one. And as you can see, it holds rather well. And then one of you beauties showed me to use a pop can, and so I'm going to do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in between my scissors like this, and then I'm going to bend it just a little bit. So that it sticks out to hold on to the wall. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to glue this onto here. And I am going to put enough glue because what I'm going to want is I want to stick this in there and get that glue all on there. It immediately gets this little guy hot because it is aluminum, so be very careful. So I've got that like that, and then while it's hot, I'm going to glue this in as well. And I'm being very careful not to see how careful I am. I'm not talking. I'm being very careful not to get it in that hole. So now this needs to dry completely because I do not want this part to break at all. So this is now done, but we're waiting for this to dry. Once this is dry, I'm gonna flip it over, we'll hang it on the wall, and I'll show you guys the finished product. If you guys like this, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you wanna see more DIYs. And how much did this cost me? It cost me glue sticks, let's say, well, let's go with $2 in glue sticks, just for fun, because I used a lot. We know that's not true. But we've got, how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these, 6 picture frames, so that's $6. The wall stickers, $7. This was free, and this guy, $8. So $8 plus, let's just say $2. So we've got $10 for this piece, and it's gonna make a really pretty wall piece, I think. So let me know if you like it, you guys. I really like it, and this piece is gonna be so special to me because it's my grandparents, and that's the only picture I have of them, of that picture. So, all right, beauties, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.